So today we're talking about the feast or famine pattern within finances and the energetics behind it and what causes it, in my opinion, as a spiritualist. This is something that I see a lot in women. And if you don't know what feast or famine means, it basically means that either you barely have any money / resources. I'm going to be bundling together money and resources because it's kind of the same thing. But, same concept. But you either have just a little bit or nothing, or you're in debt, or it all comes in at once. And it's like this lump sum. And then you spend it, use it on what you have to use it on, bills, expenses, whatever. And then it's all gone, and you're back to square one, and repeat. So you have your feast, and you have your famine. No in between. This, a lot of times, assuming you have decent spending habits, assuming you are not impulsive when it comes to your money, and you don't have like a shopping addiction or something. Girl, I've been there. Oh. When my daddy passed away, I was going shopping every single day for 2 years. Y'all want to know what saved me? My ancestors and ancestral veneration and healing work. And working through this feast or famine pattern, because it was manifesting in my life after he passed away. I was on my own, so that cycle continued because it's the cycle that I grew up in. Like, it was like I always and this is very hard for me to talk about because I never want to shed my daddy in a bad light, but I would come home from school and I could just tell if he got some money because he was in such a good mood. And while that's good, you can imagine the other 70% of the time when he was not. Like, his mood and his happiness and his energy really depended on how his pockets looked. And he was a single dad, and it was just very difficult. And I grew up with that feast or famine thing. You know, the instability, the back and forth. And so it continued into my early adulthood. And a lot of it comes from generational trauma. A lot of our ancestors were wealthy at one point. Like me, I have a lot of Romani ancestors, a lot of gypsy ancestors. And gypsies are very well known, a lot of them, for their wealth. They have a very expensive taste. They love anything to do with luxury. If you've ever been in a Romani person's home, it's beautiful. Oh my god. Like, we'll have, even if we're piss poor, we will find some way. We will have the nice couches, the beautiful, fabric curtains, and the elaborate dining room, and all the artwork and stuff. We just go all out, and we just enjoy putting our money into aesthetics. So anyway, obviously for the Romani people, that was taken away from them because they were enslaved, and they had their resources taken away. And that fear of things being taken away is very real. So this is why it's important to get to know your ancestors and which ones are most prominent within your spiritual court and the time that they lived in, their life story, what they went through, because it will impact your life. So you're not only dealing with the trauma and stuff that you have experienced in this lifetime, you're also dealing with your past lives and hardship from your ancestors, because it's passed down through our DNA. When we go through trauma and stress and hardship, it embeds itself within our body. And so when we procreate and make babies, both for the mother and the father, that trauma goes to the child. All those painful memories, all those painful experiences, all of that living in fear. Okay? And this is where ancestor veneration comes in. the easiest way to do this is obviously set up your wobula, set up your ancestor altar, and pray for their healing. Pray for their souls. Pray for any poverty trauma to be released from you and your lineage. Pray for those money wounds to be healed. Pray for abundance and prosperity within your lineage. Pray for good money. I want y'all to get used to using the word money in your prayers. A lot of people have this misconception that you're not supposed to ask/pray for money. Who benefits from you being poor or struggling in some way? Not you. Not anyone good. Maybe the higher ups, the elites, and all the billionaires and stuff that are greedy as fuck. But you and your lineage do not benefit from you being poor, so it is perfectly okay for you to ask your ancestors and your spirit guides for help with your finances. And also managing your finances. Okay? If you were like me, and you were going through a painful time in your life, and you healed, it wasn't healing, it was filling a void, through shopping addiction, ask for help with that. They will guide you. They will put people into your path and into your life that can teach you about financial literacy and how to manage your money. I told y'all before, I've been on both sides of it. Quite literally, when I say I've been in feast or famine, I've been in debt, I've had negative, been in the negative, been in the red. Like literally $1 to my name. And I've also had 6 figures in my bank account all at once. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of mine. I know how it feels. And a lot of ancestral healing and prayer had to go into me fixing all of that because it was living within my body and my lineage. And this is what a lot of people don't really understand. When they create an ancestor altar and create a wobula, the only potentially bad thing is when you do that and you invite your lineage into your home, into your space, and into your life, in a way you're also inviting and amplifying those wounds that are already there. So you need to heal that. And this time of year, the veil is very thin. There's dead people walking everywhere right now. If you're a psychic, you know what I'm talking about. Me personally, I have not, ever since like late October, like October 26th or something, I have not been able to sleep hardly at all. Because there was so much activity. And I have so much energy because my spirit guides and my ancestors are very close to me right now. So I'm a manifesting generator, so I'm regenerating that energy. But because the veil is so thin, a lot of these wounds are resurfacing right now because it's the perfect time to heal them and start your healing prayers. Pray for their souls, pray for the forgiveness of their sins, pray that they are able to release their trauma and their baggage, pray for their souls to be evolved. Okay? On my YouTube channel, I am going to upload an example of an ancestral healing prayer that I created. Okay, and the things that I personally pray for that I know work. And you can listen to that audio. I'll probably upload it tonight and kind of mix it up and create your own. But just so you have an example of what ancestral healing prayers actually look like, I want you guys to have that. Okay? But the feast or famine energy, it can be very hard to work through, especially as a woman, because when we're talking about money, the feminine is how much money you can call in, how much money you can attract, and then the masculine is how much you can hold, how you can grow it and invest it and contain it. So for the feminine, a lot of us, when we're dealing with this wound, we're very good at manifesting money and calling it to us and into our life, but we're not so good at keeping it. It somehow always flies away. Okay? If you have any questions, just comment down below. And if you would like to book a session with me, you can either message me here on Instagram or you can go to sirensnectar.com/booking. Okay? I love you. Thank you.